So we just had the European elections and the Brexit Party won.
No, they didn't.
That is the combined votes of the very, very clearly Remain parties ahead of the Brexit Party there.
The point has been made a few times.
Now, this is not a victory for Nigel Farage's party. And
So apparently, according to the leader of the Green Party, the Brexit Party didn't actually win the elections and it was the Remainers that won. Okay, but that's just one Remainer. Sorry, what?
And I know Nigel Farage is grabbing an awful lot of headlines today, but actually I think deep in his heart he's not going to think this is that great. He got a third of a third. Just over 1 in 10 people in this country came out to vote for his party when he said it was all about democracy.
Okay, but no one cares what Alastair Campbell says, right? Thank you to over 600,000 people who voted for Change UK and our excellent candidates. We have polled better than any genuinely new UK party. Okay, Anna Soubry. Who's next?
Then really, if we look at the 5 firmly pro-People's Vote parties, the Lib Dems, Greens, SNP, Change and Plaid Cymru, we won 40% of the vote compared to 35% for those no-deal backing Brexit parties and UKIP. Frankly,
but Kira, hang on a second.
Okay, firstly, let's count the votes and see what they're actually talking about. So here we have the share of the votes by each party, and we're going to divide them into the Leave parties and Remain parties. Firstly, we have to kind of get rid of the Labour Party because no one knows what they were actually standing for, and a lot of people voted Labour, some of them voted tribally, some of them were Leavers, some of them were Remainers. So let's ignore them. We have the Brexit Party, 31%. We have the Conservative Party, 9%. We have UKIP on 3%. That's more than 44% for the Leave parties. Now let's have a look at the Remainers. The Liberal Democrats, the Greens and Change UK. And you know what, let's just add the SNP and Plaid Cymru because it's not going to actually change anything. When we add all of them up together, we have 20% for the Liberal Democrats, we have 12% for the Greens, 3% for the SNP, 1% Plaid Cymru, and 3% for Change UK. When you add all that together, it gets to just over 39%. But other than that, one of the main reasons that you can't really count a lot of the Remain votes for these parties is that during the European elections, we had a lot of European citizens voting for the Liberal Democrats or the Greens or any of these parties. But the European citizens don't have a say in the UK referendums. It's just like the anti-Brexit rally that we had recently, where Remainers were claiming that they had 1 million people marching on the streets of London, which turned out to be about 300,000. But even with that number, a big chunk of the people who attended that rally were European citizens. The same problem applies there because a lot of them can't really vote in any second vote or referendum when it comes to Brexit. The other reason that Remainers can't really put all these numbers together to boost their platform for a second referendum is that during these elections we have a lot of people who vote either tribally or based in ideology. So, for example, we have a lot of people that voted for the Green Party because of the climate change issue and the whole green crab stuff. But you can't just add those numbers to your platform of second referendum. We still had a number of Green voters who are pro-Brexit, and we have a lot of people who voted Remain who are still voting for the Lib Dems or the Greens or even the Labour Party who don't want a second referendum. They're completely fed up with this whole game. During this campaign, we also had Remainers attacking Brexiteers, especially the Brexit Party, on the grounds of online campaign spending. But we now have evidence of each party and how much they actually spent when it came to online campaigning.
And that is the thick black line representing Change UK. This is how much Change UK spent on Facebook and Instagram ads in the 30 days in the lead up to the election. Over £200,000. So their campaign wasn't just a failure, it was a very expensive failure. In the week leading up to polling day, this is so fascinating. Change UK spending big, Lib Dems also spending quite a lot. But look at the Brexit Party, hardly spent anything at all. Clearly from this graph, the Brexit Party, the big winners, hardly spent anything. Change UK, the big losers, were splashing the cash in a major way.
Well, that's a bit awkward. Also, we asked a few Remainers why they thought people voted for parties that support Brexit, especially the Brexit Party, and we have a few answers. Let's start with a few of them. So, okay, the first one, racism. The second answer, obviously, people are stupid. The next answer we have is, again, obviously, Russia. And finally, because the earth is flat.
We live on a flat plane.
It's flat.
Now, clearly that wasn't a real survey, but the reason that people voted for Brexit parties in general during this election, specifically the Brexit Party itself, was for a number of very simple reasons that Remainers still don't really get. 1. They just want Brexit to be delivered as promised in 2016. 2. This is an anti-establishment vote because the mainstream parties and politicians in Westminster are becoming more out of touch every day. 3. This is a clear indication that politics is no longer about left and right. Things are changing, and this is how people and voters send a message to Westminster and their politicians. But are they going to listen? But if you believe in freedom and democracy, make sure you click on the subscribe button and the notification bell next to it, and I'll see you tomorrow with a new video.